Aries, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina and today we are doing your April 2020 predictions. Happy birthday to you, Aries, to Aries suns. It's your season. It didn't really start off the way that we wanted, but we'll get through it. We always do, and we're gonna be okay at the end of the day. And yeah, obviously these readings might be different because there's not much that the collective can be doing at this time. But we'll still try to see what's going on, still try to pick up on anything that you might need to know and see what is going on internally. So we'll see what we do, okay? We'll see what comes out. This reading may apply to Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind that this is a general reading. It might not apply to everyone. So take what resonates with you and leave the rest that doesn't. If you were able to gain something out of this reading, let me know in the comments down below. Give the video a thumbs up, share it with anyone in your life. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification to know when I upload my videos. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. If you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm using the This Might Hurt Tarot for anyone who is interested. I really love this deck. It has been my favorite ever since I got it, so let's see. Spirit, what's going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the month of April 2020? What's going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, April 2020? Alright, we got two cards. Okay. It only makes sense that that card came out. So we have the Two of Cups reversed. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Four of Swords reversed. The Fool reversed. The Lovers. Four of Pentacles reversed. And the bottom of the deck is Nine of Wands reversed. So yeah, I can definitely see you feeling very restless. Aries, I can definitely see you feeling very restless, trying to do something, trying to keep your mind occupied, trying to stay engaged, trying to do something, because I'm sure you are itching to just go out and do something, to be active, to do something impulsive, to exert your energy, your young, childlike, fun, exuberant energy. I totally understand that. And you might be feeling just like itchy, just like cramped up, maybe like feeling claustrophobic in some way, like you just need to get out. And if you do have the chance, if you are able to, like, if you're feeling this angsty and just like caught up in yourself, taking a walk around the park or taking a walk around the neighborhood, you know, obviously without going and like talking to anyone, but just like taking a minute, like 15 minutes outside to walk, to jog, around your neighborhood, or even like in your backyard if you have a backyard, or on your porch, your back porch, front porch, anywhere where you can be outside for a few minutes and exert some energy, or do some at-home workouts and like follow a workout routine on YouTube, whatever it is to get that energy out. Do so, please, because it really does seem as though you are feeling very restless, very angsty, and that energy needs to be released healthily in some way so that you don't end up hurting yourself somehow, right? So Four of Swords versus you feeling really restless, feeling like you need to do something, that sort of thing. Obviously, you know, none of us really like to be confined when it's obligatory, to be confined in like our own spaces or at home and not be able to go out. So I understand that. It seems as though there's a lot of self-work that is being done or needs to be done, if that kind of makes sense. So since we don't really have the privilege, I guess you could say, to go out at this moment in time, in this period of time, this Two of Cups reversed really talks about self-care, taking care of yourself, healing yourself, taking the time to acknowledge certain pains that you might not have acknowledged in the past. This is kind of like if you have been previously trying to run away from something or ignore something, or whatever the case may be, this Two of Cups reversed is kind of saying for you, Aries, that this is kind of the time to finally face that thing. to do some self-healing, to do some self-soothing, to acknowledge certain things and to heal whatever you might have pushed away or ignored in the past. And also with the Two of Cups reversed, this like I said, it's self-care. So taking the time to do a self-care, like a self-care routine, like a face mask, like a Bath and Body Works, like a bath bomb, like using those sort of things, or, you know, actively making it a routine to put lotion on your body after you shower, or taking more time with your skincare routine. Those sort of things might be really helpful for you, and it might help soothe you and give you a sense of routine and give you a sense of like purpose in doing all of these things, if that kind of makes sense. And then we also have this Nine of Cups, and I love this Nine of Cups because you see this old man and he's just working on his, pottery, on like, you know, making bases and shit, and that's cute as fuck. Like, he's just out here making pottery and he loves it. He's so happy, he's so into it. So it seems as though April is a really great time to focus on yourself, to focus on your own self-healing, and to do things that make you really happy, but to do things that are very fulfilling for you, and to refine your craft, to refine whatever it is that you have been wanting to do or delaying, or anything that you have always wanted to do but never had the time to do it. So now that we have all this time, is the perfect time to do so, to take on that new hobby, to take on that new skill, to do like these free online classes or whatever, or to finally start drawing again if that's something that you've been doing, or that's something that you used to do but maybe it fell off because you got so busy. Whatever it is, keeping yourself busy by engaging in like these activities, in these hobbies, and like refining your skills might be really helpful for you. And by refining these skills, when we get out of this transition, when we get out of this period in time, you know, you can use that to your benefit, and you can maybe like make money from it later, or get your name out there, or build something greater from this whole thing, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what it seems like. It's kind of a time for focusing more on dreams or wishes or hopes that you may have pushed to the side, that you may have kind of left to the back burner, in order to focus more on like trying to survive in this world by, you know, perhaps working a 9-to-5 and trying to get bills paid and like be a working adult in this capitalistic society sort of thing, right? So that's kind of what it seems like here. And with this Fool reversed, the Fool reversed, it can talk about a few things. It can talk about someone who has learned from their past experiences, someone who has grown a little wiser, this can also just be someone who is kind of in their comfort zone and they're scared to push themselves out of their comfort zone. So for some of you, maybe this thing that's outside of your comfort zone has something to do with the self-healing, with the self-care, and you know, like as an Aries, obviously like you're the very I am person. People consider you kind of selfish and things like that. But for some of you, it might just be one of those things where it's like, yes, you focused on yourself and like what you wanted, but maybe that was sacrificed somehow in your life to try to survive in this world, to try to survive in this society. And it's like you have to put yourself first in a different way, if that kind of makes sense. Kind of put your healing first, rather than kind of trying to push it to the side or brush it under the rug. Because with Aries, it's like they get mad real quick, like they'll get very mad, they'll snap, and then just as quick as that flame is lit, it'll completely go out and they move on. So I feel that the uncomfortable thing for you would be that you blow up, right? But now you actually have to like face that thing, you know, and process it and deal with it, because maybe you didn't deal with it or process it in the past. You just kind of try to brush it away and try to forget about it, and you were like, you know what, I'm over it. So that's kind of like what this seems like with the Fool reverse. Is like you may have been in your comfort zone, but now there's a level of maturity that you have to take on, if that kind of makes sense. And you have to face these things within yourself and focus on, like, again, self-healing, that sort of stuff, you know? So yeah. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius or another Aries. This is Aries, Aquarius energy to me. And then we have Gemini with the Lovers card, so maybe you're dealing with a Gemini. I don't fucking know. But yeah, so with this Lovers card, this you know, talks about harmony. It talks about balance, and it sometimes talks about choices. So for some of you, it could be like making the active choice to take that leap of taking care of yourself, or doing better for yourself, or acknowledging certain things in order to create a sense of equilibrium, a sense of balance in your life, a sense of balance or a sense of harmony. The Lovers and the Nine of Cups here, this talks about like doing something that fulfills you. Yeah, the Nine of Cups is like, you know, doing the thing that makes you happy, focusing on your own craft, focusing on your own hobbies, and like doing that thing that you, like finally doing the thing that you love, and how this Lovers card shows how you gain a lot from this emotionally or mentally, or whatever way. You gain a lot from this because it makes you feel harmonious, it makes you feel at peace, it makes you feel as though you are in equilibrium, because maybe in the past, before all of this sort of happened, you may have been outside of equilibrium, you know, just feeling really unbalanced, maybe not taking care of yourself properly, that sort of thing, maybe somehow lacking a sense of discipline, or being too hard on yourself about something, or being really rigid in some way. So by finally having the time to be a little bit more lax and having the time to focus on that which makes you happy may create a sense of balance, a sense of harmony, and it might even make you realize what you value. It might make you really remember what you value, what you love, what you want to embrace in your life, what you want to move forward with, what you choose to be known for. What your beliefs are. They remind you of like your beliefs, your values, your opinions, your morals, that sort of thing. And it reminds you like what you're here to do, if that kind of makes sense. And it feels as though there is kind of this need to balance between wanting to live for yourself and wanting to do the thing that makes you happy versus, you know, trying to survive in a capitalistic society that is very greedy and very the way that it is, honestly. So this Four of Pentacles reverse is kind of like a lack mentality, and some of you might be finding yourselves kind of like feeling restless because you feel as though you need to be working, you need to be doing something in order to feel as though you deserve whatever is coming to you, or you feel that you need to like break your back in order to be successful in some way, or in order to be seen as a successful person, whatever the case is. And so with that being said, the Lovers here is kind of saying like, no, you don't really have to do that. You can very well be successful, or or be seen as someone who's very successful, or whatever it is that you want, whatever way you want to be seen. You can have all of that by doing what you love. You know, you don't have to continue being like a cog in the wheel, if that kind of makes sense, which obviously, you know, that's so much easier said than done, and like there's layers to that statement, but that's kind of what this is saying. And it also kind of warns you against, this Four of Pentacles reversed warns you against kind of thinking that you don't have enough, you know, and kind of clinging onto certain things, not wanting to share with anybody, because, you know, survival instincts at this time are like at an all-time high. You know, a lot of us might be panicking, and you know that leads to other people panicking. So it makes sense, it's valid that a lot of us may be feeling this way, of like needing to keep everything to ourselves and try to just like keep as much as we have, to take as much as we can, so that we feel that we can survive, so that we feel that we can be secure. But that blocks the flow. And so by being generous, by helping people out, even if we may not have a whole lot, we are likely to be rewarded for that, if that gonna make sense. So Aries, it might be best for you to be mindful of like being stingy or trying to keep everything to yourself. It might be best for you to like share what you have with the people around you, if you are called to do so. Generosity and compassion is something that we desperately need in this time right now. so that we create a sense of community and compassion and empathy. So that's kind of what's coming through here. Yeah. So the overall message for you, Aries, is just find activities that you can engage in, you know, go back to things that you may have loved to do in the past, but maybe you no longer had the time to do, or you just kind of fell off from doing for whatever reason it might have been. Take the time to focus on doing what you love and on finding a way to make your dreams come true, or do the thing that fulfills you during this time and find ways to maybe prolong doing that thing so that you can continue doing it and continue being happy and continue engaging with that energy. So yeah, that's what I have for you, Aries. I hope that helps. I hope you were able to gain something from this, and with that being said, I will talk to you later.